The Rutgers Athletic Center is one of the toughest places to play in the Big East, but winning on the road has been easy so far for the Canes. First stop, Seton Hall, no problem. Miami pulled away late and never looked back. Things got a little dicey at Villanova the following week, but Johnny Hemsley was in the right place at the right time. When the Hurricanes hit South Bend, Troy Murphy couldn't get any daylight. And Miami racked up their 11th Big East road win in 13 games. Is Rutgers the next victim? For the first time this year, the rack is totally packed. A sellout crowd of 8,500 rockin' Rutgers fans to see a crucial Big East matchup. The Scarlet Knights hosting Miami. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to the Rutgers campus. Dave Ryan alongside Mark Plansky. Of late in this series, Miami has owned the Scarlet Knights, winning 4 straight games. But Mark, to make it 5 in a row, they've got to get great play again from their point guard, Vernon Jennings.
Well, those highlights we all took a look at showed the senior, Johnny Hemsley. He is the firepower for Leonard Hamilton's Hurricanes. But the most important basketball player for that team is this guy, Vernon Jennings. The point guard from College Park, Georgia, by way of MCI, Maine Central Institute, can do it all, as the graphic shows, in every category, tops in the Big East. And his size is what is the advantage, and today is no exception. Todd Billett, the young freshman point guard, has his hands full with a 6'4" point guard, Vernon Jennings.
So that's the matchup at the point guard spot. At the 2-guard spot, things are very crucial as well for each team. Dante Jones of Rutgers is a great scorer. Johnny Hemsley for Miami, each can fill it up.
Oh, this is a good old-fashioned man-to-man, one-on-one war. The difference is Dante Jones will indeed cover the best player on the other team. Today, Johnny Hemsley. Dante Jones gets a little tired because of it, and we need some help from Jeff Greer. If he steps up with 14 or 15 points, look for Kevin Bannon to compete all afternoon.
Kevin Bannon tells us it's no more time for developing chemistry now. It is time to win now that February is here. Well, the tip-off coming up. Rutgers and the Hurricanes on the way. The Miami Hurricanes bring a 4-game Big East Conference win streak into this game with Rutgers. Leonard Hamilton's team will feature Mario Bland in the front court. He leads the team in rebounding and has 3 double-doubles this year. Quite a force inside. For Rutgers, team captain Jeff Greer joined at the forward spot by Rashad Kent. He is the Knights' top rebounder, most aggressive inside player as well. The sophomore likes to throw around that 265-pound frame. Down low frequently. We'll see him in action battling for rebound position and offensive position all day long against Miami. So, Mark, the standings. Syracuse trying for 19-0 tonight against Providence. They're having a great run and record-setting season as well. But Miami and Rutgers are right there, and this really is must-win time.
Oh, absolutely. We mentioned Miami has had great success, not just this year, Dave, but the last 2 seasons on the road. They don't draw very well at home, so every road victory not only is a big one, but it shows up when both of these teams are trying to get into postseason play.
3-1, Big East road record for the Canes so far this year, and 4-2 overall away from the Miami Arena. Coming off a home win earlier this week against Pittsburgh, and followed a tough loss to Kentucky. Todd Billett runs the show, as we talked about for Rutgers. And the Canes early in a man-to-man.
Leonard Hamilton will switch up man-to-man and zone, but they have the superior athletes on the court today. So man-to-man defense to start, not surprising. There's the matchup. Jennings against the smaller freshman Todd Billett at point guard.
Dante Jones, team's leading scorer, is stripped early by Hemsley. And here's Greer on the baseline. Shot clock under 10. Billett gets the bounce. No, it rolls out. And Elton Tyler has the board for Miami.
Well, like his brother Jeff loves to shoot the three-pointer. He actually has a quicker release as a young freshman than Jeff Billett did. Not his role on this team, though. He is the assist man for the Scarlet Knights.
John Selms, number 45, is matched up with Greer, and Rutgers also begins in the man-to-man. Just underway from the Rutgers Athletic Center. And a big game for each team. Good position down low for Tyler. The junior spinning and scoring.
Well, Elton Tyler, he is a big key for Leonard Hamilton's Hurricanes. He has the moves down low, and you have to defend the perimeter of Miami, so he has room to operate. No double team in sight that time down.
Something Rutgers very concerned about in the opening 5 to 10 minutes of this game. Half-court defensive pressure by Miami. We'll see how they handle it. Todd Billett telling us yesterday after the Rutgers practice, it is crucial not to be intimidated and go right at Miami's pressure defense.
Well,
foul call away from the ball.
They got Rashad Kent out front, Dave, and the big guy cannot afford to pick up these little cheap fouls because at 6'4", 250 pounds, Rashad Kent in conference play is shooting 72% from the field. You need him on the court against the size of the Miami team up front.
Kent last year 66.7%, setting a school record, and this year he's almost at that pace, 64.1.
High percentage shots, Dave.
I'll say. And not a lot of 15-foot jumpers for Rashad Kent, but he makes them count.
He's got red paint all over his sneakers.
Here's Bland. About a 10-footer, but gets his own rebound. Good aggressive play. Mario Bland. Too hard on the putback try, and Greer leads the break at 3-on-2. Jeff Greer, pull-up shot, and he hits.
That's where Greer is best, on transition, and he needs to get going. He's a type of young player that when he hits his first couple of shots, confidence really takes off, and you can see it in his body language.
We talked about him being the team captain. Had a rough game earlier this week against BC, where he was scoreless in the first half, but rallied after a good talking to from Coach Kevin Bannon at the break. Had 13 points all in the second half.
Nice.
Hemsley for Tyler. Knocked down from behind. Dabney, good defensive pressure down low.
Well, Dabney coming on about a little over a year ago. He had a total knee surgery redone from scratch. In the last 4 or 5 games, he's really been able to play about 90% of his physical size, and he's got some great talents.
Dante Jones lines up a 3-ball. He's got it.
Oh, you can't lose Dante Jones. Wide open, a step behind the arc, but in rhythm, nothing but net.
And that win at BC this week, one of 4 double-digit scores for the Knights. They broke a 2-game losing streak. Jennings a high-low play with Tyler. Blocked again. Dabney. Now Hemsley trying to get free.
I like Miami, though. Continue to go to the glass because Rutgers is not deep on the bench, especially not up front.
Kick out for Jennings. Point guard does not score a lot, although he led the team earlier this week against Pittsburgh. Shot clock dwindling down under 5. Baseline shot, Hemsley not close, but Tyler there for the putback.
Too bad. Great job by Rutgers. A great defensive possession, but Tyler is the type of guy, very athletic at 6'9", that finds a way to get to the right spot.
Coach Leonard Hamilton talking to us about how much they're emphasizing with Elton Tyler to shoot more, be more aggressive, and not so unselfish. He's taken it to the goal twice already. Turnover against the Knights, and the Canes will get it back.
You know, David, take a look at Mario Bland and Rashad Kent. The only thing missing from that matchup are the pads. There are a couple of big fellas down there banging around, and Mario Bland goes to the bench, and Coach Leonard Hamilton's telling him you don't have to try to use size on Rashad Kent. Use your abilities because Mario Bland's got a nice touch from the perimeter as well.
Good ball range. And Rashad Kent. Bland is out now. Dwayne Wimbley, 34 in green, makes his first appearance. Here's Jennings on the baseline. Can't get the roll to go. Tipping try from Wimbley, not there. Greer is running. Jeff Greer, another pull-up shot off the board man.
You can see, not only has he knocked down his first 2 shots, that they have come in a sweet spot of his game, the transition. Now Jeff Greer is going to get back on defense, a little more pep to his step, and Dante Jones can play a complimentary role instead of the star role.
Kevin Bannon talked a lot about that yesterday, how Rutgers must get several hoops in this game on defensive transition. Got to run and convert. They've done it so far. Tyler a bit out of his range there, but Wimbley a strong rebound and lost it to Kent. Ahead of the pack, look out for Dabney. Missed it! Now mark that one down.
Well, yeah. I know a lot about missing shots like that, but I tell you, the big guy got out front and it cost him. That's a 4-point possession, the easy layup for Miami on the other end. But I mentioned the knee not completely healed for Dabney, and he got all excited, went up to explode, and it's just not at 100%.
Total reconstruction of the right knee a year ago, and just really getting back to close to 100%. Stripped there, good play. Jennings leads Hemsley the other way. He'll finish.
Well, that's 2 quick, easy baskets for the Hurricanes off of Dabney's errors, so to speak. A couple of turnovers, a missed dunk. Cannot afford that when you're not deep in the team. Joel Save getting off the bench to come in and replace him. You only have 6 guys to play. Every possession is crucial.
Dabney had the ball stripped a moment ago for Kent. Very aggressive yesterday in practice. He was talking up the floor about how big this game is for his team. And well, a timeout on the floor. 14:31 to go in our first half. Miami, thanks to Jennings, has a 1-point lead. You're watching Big East basketball. Scarlet Knights early in the first half, and Mark Blansky transition basketball. We talked about it, but the Knights couldn't quite convert here.
Well, you can see Dabney did a great job contesting the shot. Behind the back dribble by the big foul. Folks, 6'10", wide open, breakaway dunk. Oops! Keep that one, coach, because when a big guy gets open and misses, that's what happens. Johnny Hemsley twice, back-to-back possessions, got the easy layup on the other end.
Dabney will take a seat and think about that.
There is nothing worse, not just the coaching staff, but he has to go back into the locker room at halftime and put up with the comments from his teammates.
Kent down low. You think there might be a bit of abuse?
Well, luckily, I wouldn't know.
Knights?
I never was in that position.
So Dabney is out. Joel Salvi, the emotional leader of this Rutgers team, complete with a headband and another version of the hairdo we've seen this year. Several different looks.
Making statements over Rashad Kent. We mentioned how he is extremely efficient from the floor, not so from the foul line.
He'll have another. Fouls on Dwayne Wimbley, his first.
Shooting only 56% from the foul line. As of late, the coaching staff has told him to put a lot more arc on the ball. You'll see the ball goes up to the rafters and comes through, and when you're having a hard time shooting, that'll help, but a little too hard.
Nowhere near it. So we stay at 8-7.
And in a close game, Dave, especially this afternoon, Miami leading the conference by a wide margin at the foul line. All 5 starters above 70%. As you know, 3 seniors as well in Miami on the road. Those are important points when the clock is turned off.
Yeah, Canes as a team, 75.7%. That's 10th in the NCAA, in addition to leading the conference. And 3-second violations call against the Canes.
Rashad Kent is really giving up his body, trying to bang around both Wimbley and earlier Mario Bland. He already has a foul. You cannot afford to pick up a second one off the ball when you need to be playing 30 minutes a game up front for Scarlet Knights.
Paulo Coelho makes his first appearance in the lineup for Miami as well. He backs up Jennings in the point guard spot. Traveling violation. His call against RU. They are scoreless over the past 2 minutes.
Well, Leonard Hamilton has made it quite clear early on defensively. When Kent touches the ball, everyone get down double and triple team the first few possessions. Leave it up to Dante Jones and Jeff Greer to find an opening. And, of course, Kent has to be willing to pass the ball back out.
134 of those wins for Leonard Hamilton coming at Miami. Jennings quickly back into the lineup. Sequela just in for about 30 seconds. Shot put up by James Jones is short, but he follows up a shot well and keeps the play alive. Hemsley will try a long 3, buries it.
Well, there was no doubt he was shooting that ball. The little fake half-heartedly across to get the defender frozen and then knocking it down.
His first trip will give him 7 points. And that leads all scorers early on.
Rutgers runs the good motion offense, a lot of screens off the ball, Dave, and that will cause a lot of defensive switching for Miami.
Off that screen, missed by Greer, follows down low Salvi, tough acrobatic shot, and it's pulled away by Jennings.
Salvi was looking to pass the ball to Jones on the other end instead of going up strong.
No hesitation for Hemsley, but he missed everything. Didn't get iron, and Jones unable to keep the play alive on the baseline. Leroy Hurd comes into the game for the first time for Miami.
Well, good look at Johnny Hemsley. Leonard Hamilton was telling him not to take the quick shot. Vernon Jennings, we mentioned, most important, always looking. He has his head up. A little too soon on that one, David, but rest assured, the next time he's open, it's going up.
Miami continues in the man-to-man. We won't see a lot of variation from that. Well, off very quick team in the half court.
Off of that motion offense, because of the defense, Rashad Kent stays low. It's a 4-out, 1-in.
Salvi, tough shot, back iron not there, but gets his own rebound. Aggressive play by Joel Salvi. Long 3, Todd Billett.
Offensive rebounds. Joel Salvi is nothing but hard work. A lot of hustle out of that. Came a 3-point shot by Todd Billett. Credit Joel Salvi with the assist.
First 3 of the game for Billett. He said yesterday he's finally feeling really comfortable now as the team floor leader. True freshman point guard Hemsley tries again. Left wing 3 not there. Salvi had the rebound. And it's stripped away. Rutgers will get it back. Just under 12 to go in our first half. Leonard Hamilton's team has a 1-point lead on Rutgers. Big East action from Jersey.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please.
Miami a 1-point lead on Rutgers early on. 11:51 to go here in the first half from the rack.
Well, Dave, we mentioned Joe Salve. He replaced Rod Hodgson, who was a great perimeter player. But you take a look, a good pick and roll. Billett gets it back to Salve. That is the high-low spot. That will be open. Not as an accomplice as a shooter, but he is as a rebounder. And you notice the guy that started the play, Billett, gets to the open spot and buries the three.
Joe Salve, last 4 games, averaging almost 10 points and 7.5 rebounds. He has been outstanding. Good emotional leaders we talked about. We're asking some of his teammates what's it like when he first comes out, and like the big resounding dunk he had against BC earlier this week, the guys just say, wow, he charges us up right away. Jones the miss, Jennings in transition for the Canes.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. Kevin Bannon probably would like to start Salve, but because of the energy and the enthusiasm he brings off the bench, he ends up playing 30 minutes anyways. It's a great spark as a 6th man.
He has started 2 games this year, but normally the 6th guy right off the bench. Sometimes Kevin Bannon looked to him and say, start something, get something going out there.
Exactly.
We need it right away. Shot clock is dwindling under 10. Hurd down low, blocked away. Rebound from Bland. He'll try again. First, we've got a whistle.
I think the referee is looking to reset the shot clock. Again, Joe Salve staying active, hand in play. Jeff Greer showing a little athleticism, getting up to block that shot. I'm not sure, the ball never hit the rim. The referee, you can see in the upper corner of your screen there trying to say that you need to reset the shot clock. They've reset it down to 3. Obviously, Leonard Hamilton now looking for an explanation. So 3 seconds left. Canes on the baseline. Maybe Johnny Hemsley off a quick screen.
Oh, instead he goes right off Greer's body and misses the shot. Great idea, didn't quite make it happen. Now Jones and Greer run the break the other way. Jeff Greer.
Good 2-on-1, Dave. Back and forth, and Greer, as we mentioned, loves the transition play. Took it right to the basket, used the rim as another defender underneath.
Knights take the lead. 6 for Greer early. He, Jones, and Billett the only scorers so far for the Knights. Hemsley and Tyler are the 2 on the board for Miami. Here's Elton Tyler on the baseline, side of the board. Good defense. Alvidas Tennis in the game for the first time, kind of altered that shot. Now Salve, as the Miami bench erupting, they wanted something. Double dribble, carry, travel. Some turnover would be nice.
There was a lot going on over there, Dave.
Jones a miss, but a foul. Leroy Hurd is going to be the guilty party on a hole before the shot.
Well, I mentioned the graduation of Rod Hodgson. For the folks that watched Rutgers last year, he could handle the ball. He's a great third option in the open court. Salve and Kent think they have the same abilities, and there's no doubt Rutgers got away with something there. That was some tricky dribbling by this guy.
Bernardo Brown inbounding to Greer. He makes his first appearance in the RU lineup. So a lot of substituting from each coach in the first half of our opening 20. Here is Brown. Coach Kevin Bannon talked about yesterday how valuable his experience has been over the course of the Big East season so far. It really has helped to be able to spell Todd Billett and give the young freshman point guard a break. Billett still leads the team over 35 minutes a game. Tennis kicks out. Salve on the move. Spin shot, Joe Salve.
Salve did not panic. Good under control shot, a little spin move, and he has the athleticism to rise over the defender.
First 2 for him. Let's grab a 3-point lead.
Well, Johnny Simons is doing a great job on Dante Jones down at the other end.
Here's Tyler. Had a good start to this game, but since it's cooled off. Hurd does not have that kind of range. Jennings, a post up on Brown, is just into the game.
And Brown brings a bigger body of point guard to defend Jennings than Billett.
Bland tries the 10-footer. Mario Bland's got it.
Well, Tenise coming in for Rashad Kent cannot show the quickness to get out and stop that perimeter shot by Bland, and he can make it up to about 20 feet with great consistency.
Dante Jones in traffic, a bit short. Maybe thought he was going to get a shot block attempt from Salmons or maybe even Jennings.
Well, Salmons is doing a great job, as I mentioned, and Dante getting a little frustrated trying to hit the early shot.
Bland double team, kick out Vernon Jennings. Long 3. A little bit too strong, and Jones plucks away the rebound for the Knights. Bernardo Brown, little hesitation move, and they'll reset. Jones says, forgetting reset. Let's go right for the three.
Well, both threes by Dante Jones. Miami fell asleep. They let him drift around. He had time to catch the ball and step into the shot. And a player as good a shooter as Dante Jones, you can put it in the book.
16.3 points a game so far for Jones heading into this one, leading the Scarlet Knights. Had been in a bit of a slump. Had 10 straight misses, including some action early against BC earlier this week, but caught fire and played well in the second half against the Eagles in a win at Chestnut Hill.
Well, Dante Jones really bulked up over the past summer. What he brings to the table now is a better slashing move. He's always been able to do this, but look how much time he had. Elton Tyler had to come running out from the baseline. Nothing but net as the result.
Jones will take a seat on the Knights bench for the first time, and Billy comes back in. Quella also getting some more playing time for Miami. So Jennings will take a seat. Dangerous pass by Quella. Look at that. Greer, a pick-off and a finish. Jeff Greer.
How quick was that? He barely got a fingertip on the ball and then absolutely beat the Hurricane to the basketball and finished strong.
He has got 8 points. Tyler in trouble. Salvi provides the energy. Good, tough defense, but Jim Burr has got him for a foul. A little contact near center court as the Knights have their biggest lead at 6 points. 7:52 to go in our first half. Joel Salvi off the bench, providing the boost they need. Rutgers leads. You're watching Big East basketball.
I'm Jennifer.
First and only regular season meeting between these two teams in the Big East. We talked about 4 straight Miami wins over Rutgers. That includes winning here last year by 12 at the Rack.
Well, Jeff Greer, I mentioned, just barely got a fingertip on that. And then Hurd just got left in the dust. Not only did he track it down, but he takes off. And you can see he had his back to the ball. You call it, Dave. It was a great job. But then who ends up with it? Jeff Greer. And credit Dante Jones for quick back and forth. There you see a good example of a young man knowing how to score in transition. No wasted move, right to the basket.
High percentage shots like that, part of the 12-2 run over the past 5-16, helping Rutgers shoot 53% in this first half. Not bad. As a team, 45% for the year. Once again, down low. Good play from Miami.
Well, Rutgers came out in a 2-3 zone back. Both guys came running out to the perimeter to defend and left Tyler wide open on the baseline. Communication is most important in a zone.
Half a dozen for Elton Tyler here in the first half. Greer for Kent. The shot has not been a big factor offensively so far. It's been the show of Jeff Greer. Todd Billen on the baseline. A kick-out play for Salvi. Having no man's land anytime you get near that hoop in the paint. And some trouble for the Knights. With 7:16 to go. Today's Big East game being produced and distributed by ESPN Regional Television. Dave Wright alongside Mark Plansky. So glad he could join us from the Rack in New Jersey. 2 fouls now on Joel Salvi. That could be trouble. So Eugene Dabney quickly off the Knights bench. He'll check in at the next break.
Knights still man-to-man defense. Any more foul trouble? A great pass backcourt. It's Johnny Salmons. He's the guy at 6'7", Dave, that has been able to pick up the 2 fouls on Salvi because of his quickness that he just showed you darting down the lane.
First bucket for him. Backdoor cut. Screen play for Miami found him wide open. Bernardo Brown for Greer. He's double teamed. Miami realizes what a great first half Jeff Greer has had. Brown will penetrate. Good dish for Kent. A pump fake and a basket for him.
That's how you shoot 66 from the floor. No wasted time. Always gathers himself. And you can't get around that backcourt he possesses.
To say the least. With a deck and the full backyard and everything.
I mean, everything is on that backcourt. But he can get up as well. I mean, he has the big body from up above and down low, and that is what makes the best post players, just ask Sir Charles. We take a look at it. 3-guard offense now. Brown, ability to get in the seam and a great pass. Most guys would go right up. Not Rashad Kent. Give me the ball, get under control, and try to get around me to block it.
Elton Tyler on the wing. A fake over Dabney. Hit too hard, and who tipped it out of bounds? Apparently Ronaldo Brown did, according to Tom Lopes.
As important as Vernon Jennings is as a point guard and Johnny Hemsley is as a shooter, Salmons allows those 2 seniors to play their game because he is everywhere.
Tyler, perhaps an extra step. Fans certainly thought so. No call from the officials, and Brown's got the rebound. Jones, freshly back into the game now for the Knights. We hit the 6-minute mark of the first half. Brown for Dante Jones. Pull up 17-footer is short. Won't go for him. And Salmons has got the rebound. Little miscommunication. And Johnny Hemsley turnover right back to RU.
Johnny Salmons thought Hemsley was going to fade, but smartly Johnny Hemsley was going to take Brown to the post for a mismatch post-up play, and the ball sailing out of bounds behind him.
Leonard Hamilton's team absorbing his 4th turnover here in the first half. Todd Brilliant. Again, Miami staying in that very aggressive half-court man-to-man. No pressure really from either side yet.
What makes it aggressive is they switch on all perimeter screens, and they've got 3 big guys, they got Wembley and Tyler in now, that can block shots and defend and step up with quickness, so you can take chances on the perimeter.
Shot clock fading away, and Ronald Brown well off the mark. Canes down 4 with the ball. Wayne Wembley. He's posted up inside on Rashad Kent. Wembley, one of their best defensive players. Kick out play, Tyler again. Can't quite find the range he had earlier in the game today. And Todd Billett sprints out the other way. Little contact as Billett makes his penetration toward the paint.
You know, like his brother, fundamental basketball. Todd Billett's not quicker than anybody wearing a green uniform this afternoon, but right to the middle, right to the foul line, forcing the defender to try to stop him. You don't have to be the quickest guy, but right there, no wasted motion. Quick feet will get you the foul call.
4:55 to go in the first half. Knights enjoying a 4-point lead.
Remember life in the fast lane?
I do.
First you meet, then you get married. And
Rutgers a 4-point lead on Miami thanks to great play in the first half so far from Jeff Greer. He has 8 points. Other Big East scores and finals. Your alma mater, a big win over Georgetown, 72-69. Nova now 12 wins on the year as they climb up the standings. St. John survives a loss of Eric Barkley out due to an NCAA imposed suspension, and they hang on by 1. How about UConn? Head-to-head with the Big Ten. Couple of Final Four teams from last year. Huskies slammed on the road. Temple, speaking of slamming, just crushes URI in the A-10, and Kentucky over South Carolina. SEC scores. Auburn a winner as well.
Oh, Dave, UConn's been limping of late, especially Khalid Alameen with a couple of nagging injuries. To go into the home of Patine Cleaves and lose by a number, East Lansing, that speaks a lot for the Big Ten. They have a very tough conference this year.
They were down 30-plus for much of that game in the second half. Jones the miss. Over the backboard, out of play. That's by 4. Canes trying to stay close. Jennings.
The other thing with UConn all year long as a defending champion, they are coming into everyone's home court with a target on the back of their uniforms. They're chasing him. It may be the biggest game of the year, no matter who's playing dressed up in the UConn uniforms.
That's very well known. That's what happens the year after, right?
Now we went 1 round of the NCAAs, lost in the second round, and it was the biggest win for Georgia Tech with a great team that year, a much better team than our team that we had with Harold Presley being the returning senior. But I tell you, we couldn't match up with that team with Mark Price, John Sally, and everyone else, but they thought it was winning the national champion.
Here's Bland, free off the inbounds play, and he's got a bucket. Foul on that last possession on Greer, his first. Bland has got 4 here in the first half. And a whistle away from the lane. The foul call looks like it's on Miami.
Well, there's a lot of extracurricular activity going on between Bland and Kent. And Leonard Hamilton knows that you can call a foul on both ends, and he's working the referees. Jimmy Burr right there trying to ask for the reciprocal call at the other end.
I asked Leonard Hamilton yesterday, is this a must-win? Now in February, how crucial are these games in terms of making the tournament? They've got 13 wins coming in. Big loss to Kentucky last week would have helped with the committee, but he feels the team is playing well enough, having won 4 of 5, and every win in the Big East is just as big as beating a heavyweight like Kentucky.
Well, February is definitely a moving month, like on the PGA Tour. Saturday is moving day. You have to win most games in February for the committee to take notice.
Traveling violation on Jennings with 3:46 to go. Leonard Hamilton's team is still down by 2 to Rutgers. We'll have more coming up from New Jersey right after this.
Welcome back, everyone. 3.5 minutes and change to go, Dave. I tell you, these two guys, Rashad Kent and Mario Bland, 6'6", 245, carbon copies on the program. Neither one misses a lot of pregame meals. When you're that big, you can use your body to battle, but when you start flailing the arms like Mario did, you bring too much attention to yourself as the big fellas at 265 pounds. Referee has to make the call, and it's an easy foul to make, and Leonard Hamilton was saying, hey, your guy's doing it down at the other end. Just keep your arms inside, and you can get away with a lot of physical activity.
Tennis is back in the Rutgers lineup. You speak about weight as well with Kent. He used to be 300 pounds. He has slimmed down to a svelte 265.
Yeah, well, you throw 35 pounds. It's like throwing a chaise lounge off the Queen Elizabeth when you're Rashad Kent. This big fella.
Greer to the free throw line. He'll have a couple. Jeff Greer talking a lot yesterday about how crucial these games are. He felt last year Rutgers waited really too long to turn it on. Last 2 weeks of the season, kind of relying on what they might do in the Big East tournament. It didn't work out for them. They made the NIT in Kevin Bannett's second year with 19 wins, but he said this year we're taking care of business in February, and then in March, things will be taken care of.
Kevin Bannon, of course, spent his whole playing days, his coaching days right here in the state of New Jersey. They love him here in the administration, the student body, the alumni pulling behind him. He does things right. Kids go to school, they come to practice. It's a squeaky clean program.
Land up 13 feet from the hoop. And Salmon's trying to drive that right baseline on Greer.
Well, the flop made famous by Dennis Rodman in Chicago. You have to move your feet, and more times than not, Dave, when you feel like you're going to lose ground, you try to flop, and Johnny Salmons just kept going, tangling him up. An easy call for the referee.
Second personal on Jeff Greer. Traveling is called on Johnny Hemsley as he tried to spin move just outside the three-point arc. Hemsley, the Big East's most improved player a year ago, and a Naismith candidate in the preseason this year as the National Player of the Year. He's averaging 18 a game. An outstanding season so far. He is their go-to guy offensively. Although Leonard Hamilton says you have to really win by committee. Got to get a lot of guys chipping in and doing their part. Kent down low, and a foul is called. Push off against Hemsley.
Oh, great job. Jeff Greer saw Rashad Kent wide open. I believe it was Jennings, we'll take a look at it, that stepped in for the foul, and that's a big foul. Jeff Greer's third. He has his heads down, and it's Mario Bland, the big guy, giving up his large body. Huge foul. Jeff Greer has to go to the bench with 3 in the first half.
And Mike Thompson will replace him with 2:50 to go in the first half. We presume that'll be the last we'll see of Greer in the opening 20. 10 points for him. They'll miss his offensive production and playing very hard aggressively on defense as well. Greer is gone for now. A little high-low play. Jennings had snuck in. A good recovery from Bill to get a piece of it. Shot clock drifting down toward 10. James Jones is free for 2.
There's a great shot of what Vernon Jennings brings to the team. Under control, and then the quick pass to find the guy wide open on the baseline.
First bucket for Jones off the Miami bench. And again cut to 2. Tight first half. Thompson fresh off the Rutgers bench. Pass a bit low for Billett. Had trouble with a handle. That'll throw off your offensive rhythm.
Well, Miami's done a great job on the road staying in games.
Dante Jones is wide open. Can't hit the 3. And James Jones has the rebound the other way for the Canes. Stripped out by Dante. Miami gets the ball back.
You know, what they do, Miami sticks around, Dave, and Vernon Jennings has the ability to control a game when you're within a couple of points. Here he is. Look at a quick pass. Denise had no idea where the Miami Hurricane was on the baseline. It's a 2-point game now. Rutgers needs to make a spurt the last 2 minutes, because if you give Miami with 3 seniors a close game with 2 minutes left to go, that's how they've had success on the road.
Jones tries a long 3. Rattles out. Billett sprints the other way for RU. Up by 2. A little hesitation for Todd Billett.
Good job by Mario Bland. Kent took his time getting up court, and Mario Bland defended the ball. Stopped Todd Billett from penetrating.
Todd Billett and the Knights reset. Screen play, Tennis open. Pretty good ball handler for a big guy. And partially blocked shot from Jennings on a 3-pointer by Billett. Shot clock continues to roll, and Tennis gets the loose change and finishes.
Offense by accident. I was about ready to say, where's all the motion, the cutting from The Knights are standing around, but Denise in the right place standing around with the easy jump hook.
That was their first bucket in 5.5 minutes. Bland the other way. Nice reverse move. Mario Bland with the left hand.
Well, Mario's got the huge mitts and controlled it with the left hand, using the rim again as a defender. Great shot for the big fella.
Lead again down to 2. Under 40 ticks first half. Kent had good position on Bland, but it's tipped away.
Tough passing, Alan. Denise is not a good passer from that foul line area, and Johnny Hemsley knows it and went over, leaving his man. He left Dante Jones alone.
Final moments first half. Shot clock, game clock are even. And a whistle. Hemsley down to the floor and away from the ball. Foul's going to be on the Knights. Coming up, the National Car Rental halftime report. Big East scores. We'll talk a lot more about that. UConn lost at Michigan State, and a couple of teams in the league on the move. Notre Dame, Seton Hall playing very well for their respective coaches this year and making a move themselves toward the NCAAs. Stats and highlights from this game as well. The National Car Rental halftime report comes your way in a few moments.
Oh, Dave, Tommy Amaker at Seton Hall is having a fantastic year. I mean, everyone is anticipating next year's recruiting class with Griffin. Many think the best player in the country out of Philadelphia. But you take a look at what they've done. 14-4, second place behind Syracuse's undefeated year. The Pirates are back. They got a couple of big fellas, Dellenbear and Morton up front. And this Miami team at Seton Hall rather, came away with a very similar game. Tommy Amaker had his team up, and Vernon Jennings and Hemsley hit a couple of baskets at the end of the game, and boom, Leonard Hamilton sneaks out of town on the road with the victory. But you're going to need more than the bagel, Mr. Jennings, here this afternoon at the rack.
Jennings second on the Big East in assists to Jason Hart of Syracuse. Leads the team in assists and steals. Senior from College Park, Georgia. Just outside Atlanta. Hemsley, the free throw line, hits the first.
Now, as we mentioned, Hurricanes tremendous from the foul line. The clock is shut off. 19 seconds left. They can now tie up the game and go into the locker room. It's a weapon when you have 70+% efficiency from the foul line as a team.
Hemsley said yesterday he thinks his team can go 7-1 down the stretch. Win some big games if they have to, including that loss to Kentucky into the Big East tournament. Both teams very confident with a good run in February. They can really make a good go at it for the tournament.
Good job by Miami, Dave. Sorry to interrupt you. A 2-2-1 full court press. Now they only have 6 seconds left in the half court. Great job by Leonard
Hamilton. Seconds for Thompson. For Kent now. At the buzzer, Billett did not get it off. That will not count. After the horn, Jeff Greer 10 points in the first half. Hemsley has had a good first 20 minutes for Leonard Hamilton's Miami Hurricanes as well. Todd Billett just a hair late here, Mark.
Well, Miami did a great job, as I mentioned. They threw the press up, then they played solid defense. The clock running down. Kent with the right idea, but no doubt great call by the referee after the horn.
And we are even. 25 apiece from the rack in New Jersey. Coming up next, the National Car Rental halftime report. At halftime is the Miami Hurricanes this season in a bid for their third straight NCAA tournament berth. Rutgers trying for the first time in the Kevin Bannon era. For that to happen, each team has really got to turn on Mark Plansky here in February, and it starts right here today.
Oh, absolutely. We mentioned about it. It's moving month. You have to come away with the victories, and the road victories and the out-of-conference victories, Dave, are most important as the committee sees them.
Half-court pressure on defense, a big key for Kevin Bannon's team to try to defeat in that first half. Overall, they succeeded.
Well, Jeff Greer with the 3 fouls had to sit down at the end of the first half. He almost was the GOAT there off his butt. A great play by Miami, but it's Jeff Greer who leads the 2-on-1 fast break, and as we said, a good give and go, and uses the rim on the transition as well as anyone. Well, you take a look at the other side. Jennings got all the hype as the point guard. He can find anybody, and Mario Bland at 265 steps out with a nice touch from the perimeter.
Buick first half stats. Field goal percentage. Well, Rutgers got the edge there. Three-pointers haven't been a big factor in this game so far.
If I'm Leonard Hamilton, I am feeling very good. I'm looking up at the scoreboard, 25-point lock. Field goals, I'm not shooting as well as Rutgers. 3 points, I'm not shooting as well as Rutgers. I'm feeling pretty happy about being tied.
So now looking to the second half, we are all even, and Miami didn't shoot that well in the opening 20 minutes. What's Leonard Hamilton thinking right now?
Well, they didn't shoot well. Johnny Hemsley had a terrible first half. A couple of early threes, a couple of transition baskets, and that's it. But it's the other side. The guy launching on Hemsley on defense is not having a good offensive game. Dante Jones had a couple of threes and then quiet. Kevin Bann has to find a way to get Jones involved, maybe take him off Hemsley on a defensive end. And
maybe Hemsley needs some help. That's what Leonard Hamilton talked about yesterday, a win by committee. That'll be crucial for Miami in the second half. We'll see if they can execute that. We're all even from New Jersey. 20 minutes complete. More on the way. In the Rutgers Scarlet Knights win earlier this week against Boston College, 32 of their points came inside in the paint. First half, not a lot of presence in the lane, and they'll see if they can improve that. You can see the numbers. The guard play and swing players have been crucial.
Well, Hemsley, as I mentioned, a couple of easy layups and a three, gets 7 out of those 9 points. Other than that, very quiet. Tyler has had a good half, and Greer sat out the last 3.5 minutes. Kevin needs to get him back in the game quickly because Jeff Greer can disappear with the best of them, and no way can the Knights afford not to play on all cylinders in the second half.
So 10 points for Greer and the 3 fouls, and he's back on the floor to begin the second half.
Man-to-man, a good offense, motion offense by the Hurricanes, trying to get it down low and cause some foul trouble.
Tyler, just as he began the first half, it's a nice spin baseline move. Give him 8 for the game.
You know, as Timmy James graduated, the great play for the Hurricanes, Elton Tyler has become more and more of an offensive threat. He has the quickness, and you saw there the shooting ability.
Strip inside. Tyler comes free with it. And Jennings for Elton Tyler. Blocked away. Dabney got a piece of that. Bland, the rebound, strong. Forward by Eugene Dabney.
Well, Dabney's had time to get the legs underneath him. A missed dunk and a lot of foul trouble and not a lot of PT. Needs to come out here with a little more explosiveness from the legs.
Things getting sloppy. Jones able to keep it in, though, as the shot clock down to 15. Backdoor cut. Dabney thought he had his man open for a moment. And a bad turnover for the Knights. And Hemsley lost the handle. Each side having trouble here in the opening moments of the second half.
Oh, 5 minutes, the first 5 minutes of the second half are as important as any time in a ball game. And both teams, you just said, Dave, seem to be very complacent, just roaming around early on.
Todd Billett, the freshman, takes charge.
With only 3 points in the first half, that open three, Billett needs to step it up and be more of an offensive weapon and give Dante Jones some assistance out there and let him create.
Hemsley from Mario Bland. Well blocked. Good defense, though, as Rashad Kent had excellent position and caused the turnover.
Well, right in front of Leonard Hamilton, he reached over and slapped Hemsley on the butt and said, take the dribble, break down the angle, and give him the bounce pass. Kent will get stuck on the high side. Result will be an easy layup.
7th turnover so far in the game for Miami. Open the second half. We're coming back-to-back. So all even again, 27 apiece. Miami the man-to-man. Tyler all over Dabney. Billett lost the handle, and guess what? Turnover back to the Canes.
Well, you have to protect the basketball. Kevin Bannon irate on the sidelines over there. Do not throw the ball around. They've already had 3 turnovers in 2.5 minutes.
Jennings at Miami trying to take advantage. Salmons, Elton Tyler on the right low block. Acrobatic shot just to get it away. Tyler and Bland help strip it out of bounds, but Jim Burr says Rutgers will get it right back.
Leonard Hamilton on the sideline is asking exactly the rule of verticality. That looked like a lot of contact by Rashad Kent going up to defend that layup. A dazed look, we'll take a look at it. Kent showing some body. Elton Tyler feeling the body. The referee's letting him play.
Things getting physical. We thought they might be, especially down low involving Rashad Kent. Anytime he's in the exchange, a lot of body weights can be thrown around. Dabney, just inside the 3-point arc. Here is Billett got up and thought about that 3. Todd Billett, a kick-out play for Greer. First shot, second half. Jeff Greer is off the mark. Hemsley.
Great fundamental box out by the whole team. Everyone on green jerseys knocked out. Someone were in the home court.
Good pass down low. James Jones from Jennings.
From Jennings. Get used to hearing that phrase, folks. Vernon Jennings knows where everyone is at all times.
Jennings has not scored, but the assists continue to pile up. And Jones a bit too aggressive on Eugene Dabney outside. Second foul on Jones in this one so far.
Well, you don't need to take a look at it. Vernon Jennings looking like he was going to shoot. Boom, Jones breaks to the basket. Under control, ready to play defense.
Last year, Jennings setting the single season school record assist, 167. Surpassing Michael Gardner's 154. He had 116 coming in. He's on pace to set a new record. Break his own mark at Miami.
Well, he does have a number of guys that find a way to get open and create the angle. Of course, that's half the battle for the assist leaders of every conference. You need to have guys that convert and get open.
Freshman Billett penetrates. It's blocked away by Jennings. He's doing it all right now for Miami. Gained by 2. He'll take it.
Oh, cardinal sin. Rutgers, you have to stop the basketball. It's Billett's man, but he was trailing because Jennings blocked his shot. You have to stop the ball first and recover second. Take a look at it, David. We mentioned 6'4" this young man is. He comes off the block shot. There's Billett. Now that's the matchup, but you have to step up and stop the basketball. Salve gets caught behind his guy, and they just ride him right down underneath the basket.
First bucket for the senior from College Park, Georgia. Leonard Hamilton saying yesterday he leads our team and almost the entire league in assists. He really feels that Jennings perhaps has not gotten the respect he deserves in the league, and from a national perspective. This is a great leader, and when the game is on the line, he wants the ball in his hands.
Well, you hit on it early in the game. The Kentucky loss last week was a painful loss, but what it did is it woke up everybody nationally about the ability of this Miami Hurricane team. They played down there in southern Florida. They only draw 3,000 to 4,000 people at home games, which is amazing. They have a new arena on site that's going to be built, ready to go in 2 years. It's a nice role to play. Leonard Hamilton likes it.
Shot Kent up strong. A lot of contact involving Hemsley. And Johnny will pick up the personal. 2 shots.
You look down on the court, Hemsley and Kent are the same height, and that's where the comparison stops.
You wouldn't want to put the weight head to head.
You notice Johnny Hemsley immediately after that hard foul went over to Rashad and said, "You okay, big fella?" It was like a fly. You never even felt him.
Certainly would not want to get him upset. Rashad Kent, the sophomore from Fairmont, West Virginia. Not far from Morgantown. Somehow got out of the grasp of Gail Catlett down there in Mountaineer territory.
Well, as good as a foul shooting team Miami is, it's nothing but confidence. And they, in the shoot-arounds, Dave, you saw it. They take turns running around that lane, making 2 in a row. The only one that misses has to run. On the other end, Rashad Kent cannot find it. A lot like Shaquille O'Neal. When you don't make them, your confidence seeks down, not by a factor of 1 or 2, but by 10 or 20. And Rashad Kent at 55%. Needs to spend a long time in the summer from the charity stripe.
It's about the only thing he doesn't do well. He's the team in rebounding, field goal percentage, steals, 3rd in assists. Long 3, Hemsley is off the mark. And a foul on Rutgers. Pushing down low on the rebound positioning. Haynes will keep it. Foul is on Rashad Kent. 15:32 to go in the second half. Miami 5-4. You're watching Big East basketball. 4.5 minutes, just 2 points in the second half so far for Rutgers, trailing the Hurricanes in a Big East matchup. 5-4 here at the rack. Time to check in now with our Volkswagen Big East leaders. And we talked about Miami's free throw percentage as a team 10th in the nation. That's going to win a lot of games for you.
Oh, well, how about 10th in the nation and 76%? Folks, that is incredible. I mean, no one will shoot 80% from a team. Maybe those Princeton guys, Dave, but few guys other than them. And I tell you what I really like about it. You look at the starting 5. There are 3 seniors on this team, all shooting above 70%. And here are the guys that will be in the game at the end of the game. The last 5 minutes, 3 of the 5 seniors. I've been there before. I've been on the road before. It's a weapon.
Down low. And combined, those starters shooting 78.6%. of 3 guards, or the 2 guards and 3 forward players. Up front, 81.9%. They were 16-19 against Pittsburgh earlier this week, so when they need them, they can bury them.
In a close game like this, when you're playing in a hostile environment like the rack on campus at Rutgers, it does come down to foul shots, and that's a huge offensive weapon for the Campus.
A lot of physical play. Look at Bland on Kent down low on the right low block. Bodies flying everywhere on the hardwood here in Jersey.
Dave, the first move they teach you on the block is the up and under move. First, you have to get position. Great job by Mario Bland. You can see he has the position. The good use of the dribble, and then he shows the ball. Kent falls for it. Salve comes over and tries to help out, and Bland, by going right to the rim, draws the contact.
Third foul on Joel Salve. Key moment of the game for Rutgers. Greer has not been the same player in the second half. He has got 3 fouls as well. Now Bland's got the high arcing shot from the free throw line like Kent does, but that one went in.
High arc is one thing. Touch, my friend, is a whole different story.
Joel Salve down low, good tip in play.
Perfect example of touch. The high arc, the soft touch around the rim. Rutgers got caught coming down, and Solomons went up with the easy putback.
First bucket for him in the second half.
Here's what Johnny Solomons does well. Defense. Shutting down Dante Jones.
Good play on the weak side defensive help by Hemsley. So not only their leading scorer, but he really came to the aid of his teammates down low on defense, and there'll be a foul called on Rutgers.
Well, Kent picks up the foul. It is in no way his fault. A bad pass. Second time this game, Hemsley has been able to get in there and pick off that pass. Rashad Kent had no idea that there was a defender coming from behind.
So Greer, Salve, Kent all saddled down with 3 personals. And we've got just under 15 minutes to go second half. Hemsley well off the mark, but Bland, a workhorse down low, puts it back up and in.
With the left. Through the contact with the big wingspan, went to the left hand and laid it soft off the glass.
Suddenly the lead balloons to 9 for Miami, their largest lead of the game, and a 20-second timeout.
A little bit of what we were talking about in the first half and the halftime. Well, Miami was not shooting anywhere near as well as Rutgers. You kind of got the feeling it was just a question of time. But take a look at big Mario Bland. There's the soft touch, the follow through, and as that sticks around on the rim, mistime jump by Salve, and Solomons does not give up, comes around. And Johnny Hemsley coming off the screen drew 2 defenders for Rutgers. So, of course, offensive rebound will be open. And the left hand for the big guy. Ambidextrous. That's tremendous.
12-2 run has helped the Canes sprint out to a 9-point lead here in the second half. Game was tied 25 apiece at the break. Offensive rebound's a big part of that.
It's a killer. You have to control the boards and limit your turnovers in any basketball game. When you get out and rebounded by 10 on the offensive side, that's easy putback, easy possessions for the visiting team.
Few losses this year. Kevin Bennett's team has kind of fallen apart over key stretches of games in the second half. Guys talked a lot about that yesterday. They got to rebound and turn it around, and that maybe is the road in the right direction. Salve hits it.
Definitely in the right direction. You have to win the game this afternoon on this end of the court. However, they need a stop.
An elbow call down low. Contact as Jennings trying to penetrate. And Kent will pick up his 4th foul with 14:11 to go in the second half.
Vernon Jennings has a string attached to the basketball. 6'4", boom, I'm right by the little guy, Todd Billett, and I have the quickness to go by the big guy, Rashad Kent. You have to move your feet. If you're tired, let him go by, because it's more important to keep you on the court as going to the bench straddled with 4 fouls. Now advantage Miami front court.
James Jones spin the ball around the perimeter, but there's a foul call. Push off down low according to Jim Burr. And Whitley picks up his second. So Alvidas Tenis, big number 50s into the game inside for Rashad Kent. And that's something Kevin Bannock talked about yesterday, how he's improved his play. Tenis has come through with some crucial minutes now, a big test for him. They need a presence down low. Greer, he's got the 3 fouls, and a personal was called against Miami. And Greer's trip to the hoop.
Well, you can see Jeff Greer came out of the gate this afternoon, a couple of transition baskets, very confident. He had the shot right there 2 times, at the foul line and then another dribble, and he's not into the game yet. He needs to get there.
On the right baseline, try to move. Dipsy-do feed to Todd Billett. Greer had 10 points. Mark at the break, hasn't scored in the second half.
No, and if I'm Tenis and Salve, I'm just setting screens right now. I'm trying to find a way to get Jones and Greer the ball. Billett will be my outlet guy in the perimeter, but you don't need to go down low with Kent on the bench.
You don't want Tenis handling that far outside. Well into the corner on the baseline. Joel Salve got a cross dribble there, and Jones got a piece of it. Shot clock at 19.
Well, this Miami defense pushes the offense of the Knights further and further away from the basket. And Salvi looks like he has a lane. He does not have the ability to handle the ball as well as some of his teammates. And of course, as he comes in, the defense will shut down that lane.
Jones lost a handle, trying to save in the baseline, can't do it. Salmons, again, that tough defense. He's right in your face. So persistent.
He does play right in. He climbs into your shorts and says, I'm camping out for 40 minutes. And that's why you need to catch him off guard. Hit a back screen when he's not looking and free up Dante Jones.
Jones still stuck on 6 points. Greer hasn't scored in the second half. Knights have just 4 points after the break so far. Denise, good defense. Altering the shot a bit. Now Greer in transition out for Billy. That's a three-pointer.
That's a great job by Greer. Showed the first half how he can convert in transition, and just showed there how he can draw and then dish it out to Billet for the three.
Something the Canes did not want to have happen in the second half. The big crowd getting into the game. Wembley can't hit the baseline shot. Salvi the rebound for the Knights. Greer, three ball. Back iron not there. Denise had a hand on the rebound. Good position though from Wembley.
Dwayne Wembley is exhausted. He's limping up the court. Denise in here battling underneath.
Salmon's out for Hemsley. Big three for the Canes. Hit too strong. Salvi strong rebound. And a foul called on the rebound against Miami.
Well, you mentioned, Dave, now the rack is involved. The power of the sixth man. Kevin Bannon knows how lethal that can be. Just ask the Dukies down there in Cameron Indoor. Now here's Jeff Greer handling the ball. After watching him in the first half, you got to respect his ability to get to the basket. Spotting up as Billet. Actually looks like his foot is on the line. Good call by my producer, Eric Postman. Beetle eyes. Nothing but net. Should have been a 2.
That's why I was kind of hesitant to call that a three-pointer. Jim Burr was right on it. Miami has missed 4 straight shots. Wembley now saddled with his 3rd personal foul. So Miami and Leonard Hamilton starting to get into a bit of foul trouble as well. But that is the story for Rutgers, certainly here in the second half. Be sure to log on to the Big East Conference website at www.bigeast.org. West Virginia at Seton Hall, big game. Syracuse looking for a 19-0 start at Providence to take on Tim Welsh and the Friars. And tomorrow, Notre Dame against Pittsburgh. That is another Matt Doherty test on the road with Troy Murphy. BC will take on Vanderbilt.
That Vandy game is a tough one for Al Skinner. They had to jam that into the schedule here in February. They just lost a 1-point game at Alumni Hall at St. John's. They're going to jump on a plane, go down to Vanderbilt, and that's a good team and a great place, a tough place to play on the road.
Big Apple right to the SEC. It's not an easy trip for them. So Al Skinner's bunch on the road right away. Billet in the corner, thought about a 3. Canes extend that defense. Now they've gone to a zone.
I'm not sure what's with the zone. That's just giving Rutgers time to rest Kent on the bench and get an open look.
Greer, shot clock at 7. Rutgers needs something to happen quickly. Joel Salvi pull up 18-footer. Rattles out. Denise a hand on the rebound. Jennings baseball pass. Hemsley. Great job to come down with it. And a block is called on Salvi. Fans, of course, wanted either a charge or a travel. They'll get neither.
Well, you saw it, partner. It could have been either. Joel Salvi, always hustling, takes the shot almost because he had to. You can see 3 seconds left. There's Vernon Jennings again with the long pass. I think he traveled too. Maybe Salvi was moving underneath. That was probably the tougher call to differentiate between, but he took a couple of quick steps before he hopped for that layup to Johnny Hemsley.
So Rashad Kent with 14-11 to go in the second half. Got his 4th foul. Salvi 11:42 to go in the second, picks up his 4th. Rashad Kent can just sit and watch for now. We'll meet him at some junction later in the game.
We take a look at Johnny Hemsley, 3 for 10. He has been getting good looks, as we have seen this afternoon. The last number of games, just not knocking him down, and it's tough because you watch him in practice. He's lights out. He doesn't miss a shot. The lights go on. I'm not sure why it is, but he's not shooting with the same efficiency.
First 2 points of the second half. Kevin Bannon's team in a bit of trouble. It's foul trouble. It's really killing them now. And down by 6 to Rutgers. You're watching Big East basketball.
The wonder of it all.
just shy of a sellout here at the Rack at Rutgers. 8,419 fans on hand. The biggest crowd of the season to watch Miami and RU. And the Hurricanes, despite the fact that Hemsley's not really lit it up. The first 2 points in the second half we saw from him a moment ago, Martin, on free throws. They still have the lead.
Boy, take a look at these numbers. Not up to Johnny Hemsley's capabilities, but the difference is the last 5 games he's been getting good shots, and Miami's won because he's coming off screens, drawing defenders, and opening up offensive rebound opportunities. In the beginning of the year, he went a lot on one-on-one. His teammates stood around, and they lost those games where he did not shoot well.
Tuesday at home against Pittsburgh, 0 of 6 for Hemsley from three-point range, 2 of 15 as you saw. He had 10 points, though, because he's a very solid free throw shooter.
Well, I like the press. Miami came out again with the 2-2-1. Try to take the ball out of Billett's hands because you see what happens if Dante Jones or Billett do not touch the ball. It's turnover waiting to happen.
So it continues for Miami. A lot of foul trouble for Rutgers. Jones, three-pointer is short. Top of the board, but not over. Hemsley kept it alive. Right to Dante Jones. He'll slash in the paint and hit.
How about the elevation? He had nowhere to go. 2 defenders, and he just jumped over them.
First 2 second half for Jones as well. They need him to come alive. The lead is 4. And a foul away from the ball. And we'll go on the Knights.
Many times Dante Jones, as I mentioned, will play the best player, LeVar Postel, against that matchup at the Garden a week ago. And he gets silly fouls coming off screens, try to grab the t-shirt, trying to grab the guy. You don't need that because you need to stay in the game for your offense.
Tyler, right off the inbounds feed. Quite get the roll. Billett will march out the other way. Salvi is open. 3 ball on the way. Buries it.
Oh my! Feeling it, big fella.
And look at him hop and jump. He's got his own cheering section here at the Rack. They love him. The most popular Scarlet Knight. All of a sudden the lead dwindles down to 1.
Salvi is the guy that in practice, Dave, plays on the second team against the starting unit, so he's the best player on the second team, so his confidence is there. He knocked down a baseline jump shot, but the 3-ball, that's a big bonus.
Now the experience down the stretch. Will Miami have it with their veterans? Hemsley says yes.
Vernon Jennings. Somehow he knew that Hemsley was on the weak side, spotting up for a 3 and casually delivered the rock.
Little blind feed there. Just knew exactly where everyone was on the floor. Great assist from him. 14 points now for Hemsley. He's got 2 threes. Billett, this definitely a 2-pointer. Buries it.
Almost from the exact same spot. Clearly on the line that time for the deuce.
Land on Denise. Strong move. Look at the follow by Elton Tyler.
Well, Denise did a great job, kept his hands up. Salve all fired up after knocking down the 3, went for the block. That left Elton Tyler with a wide open lane down the middle for the putback.
Crashing the boards and rewarded for his efforts. Salve thought about a 3. Crossover dribble move, kick out for Billett. Overplay by Hemsley. Greer, you better believe it. 3 ball.
Hemsley trying to get the big play. Greer making him pay with a 3.
And the Rack comes alive. Tyler almost shuffled and traveled. 3-second violation against Miami. Turnover right back to the Knights. And look at Kevin Bannon on the RU bench. Pumping his fist over there.
The Rack is alive, Dave. Power of the 6th man. You know, the Dome up in Syracuse with 27,000 people in your hometown is a weapon. But you're not right down on the court like you are here at the Lewis Brown Arena. It's a tremendous place to play basketball.
9 minutes straight up, second half. Greer just buried that huge 3 a moment ago. Dante Jones back for Greer. At the good range. Thought about popping another 3 ball. Off the screen. Miami adjusts back to the man-to-man. A lot of active switching as we talked about. Billett, long 3. A bit too hard. Good rebound, Jones. Right baseline. Strong put back. He'll try again. And earned himself a trip to the free throw line, shooting a pair.
With Kent on the bench, Dave, Salve's playing on the perimeter. He knocked down a couple of jump shots. That's bringing the whole defense out. And when you take a 3-point shot like Billett did, that means that you have offensive opportunities. Look at Dante Jones on the wing. Goes right to the glass, gets it a couple of times, and will end up at the charity stripe.
Team's leading scorer. Shoot 2. Rookie team a year ago for Kevin Bannon's squad. Up to the NIT, losing in the second round. trying to break into double figures. He's got a couple.
8,500 people silenced when the guys in the white unis are shooting the foul shots. At the other end, not quite the same.
This is where they need the veteran leadership from Jennings that we talked about. Had the great assist to Hemsley on that three a few moments ago. Hemsley pulls up. Can't hit it. Good rebound down low. Active play on the boards, and somehow Miami able to come away with it.
That was great defense by Dante Jones, trailing 2 screens. Hemsley came up 2 good screens. The Knights have to rebound by committee.
Jennings for Hemsley, and he's tied up. Good feed, though, from Vernon Jennings. Arrow will go to the Knights. They'll get the ball back.
They have a small team on the court, but anytime you go down low, you try to block it underneath, and a great job by Jeff Greer getting his hands on the ball.
Rutgers has taken back the lead. They trail at one point in the second half by as many as 9. Salvi off a screen around Elton Tyler, stepped on the baseline, and the Canes will get it back. 7:48 to go in an exciting second half from Rutgers. Each team talking must win. Who's going to come out ahead? We'll find out. Mark Platsky, Rutgers shooting 37.6% from three-point range this year, and the three-pointers really coming alive here in the second half.
A lot of guys have let him go. Joel Salvi, this is his second made three-point shot. You can tell he's not used to shooting the three because he's hopping up and down afterwards and letting everyone know. But Jeff Greer, very comfortable from behind the arc. In fact, a lot of times his coach wants him to go through the line, but nothing but net from behind that stripe.
And our next game summary, offensive rebounds. Miami certainly has the edge in that department. Jennings has been great with the assists, but Rutgers has taken the 12-5 run over the last 4:30 to grab a 1-point lead.
All the time Rashad Kent resting on the bench with 4 fouls.
Salvi playing aggressively with a 4 as well. Bland, offensive foul, the big man Mario Bland.
Joel Salvi everywhere on defense, and he loves to take the charge. He would block the shot and get all the accolades and get on SportsCenter, but he will take more charges than block shots because he loves to give it up.
And get the crowd pumped up as well, in addition to his teammates. Greer for Jones. A little pull-up shot, 5 feet away, can't find the range. Tyler, strong rebound. Dangerous blind outlet pass. The Billen almost picked off. And a carry against Bland, who probably shouldn't be handling the ball when you have a great point guard like Vernon Jennings right behind him.
He can handle the ball as an outlet, a third option against the press, but to play a point guard and take it down the middle of the lane, Dante Jones was lurking in the weeds, and once Mario found him, he carried the ball.
Hesitation crossover move with Billet. Just create some space for Rutgers offensively.
The key to any good motion offense is move. Move with the ball, with the dribble, or the pass, and cut. And that's what Rutgers has done to be able to get back into this game.
That's what Kevin Bannon was talking about in practice here yesterday. Fire the ball, crisp passes, and move it around the perimeter to make the defense use its feet. Jones slashing to the basket. Kept alive by Dabney. Finds the loose ball. Back to Dante Jones. In traffic, he is fouled. Eugene Dabney kept the play alive. That was the key. And Jones got a second crack at it.
You gotta love about Dante Jones, he never settles for the jump shot. He always takes it dead on against the defense. Exhausting 40 minutes every game. You can see him with his hands on his knees. The guy is an all-out basketball player.
Just 19 years old. He's a sophomore from Hamilton Square, New Jersey, 6'5". And because he's a bit younger, due to the birthday, he actually played some Big East ball last year at 17 years old. Kent is back in with a 4 personal.
Well, you look up at the clock, 6.5 minutes to go. A lot of people will say that's way too early to bring in your big guy, but Kent's played in foul trouble a lot this year. He's seasoned in the abilities to not draw that fifth.
He was out almost 8 minutes from the 14-11 mark now at 6:30 here in the second half. He is back with the 4. Salvi has got the 4 as well. Now he's back on the RU bench.
Now Mario Bland has to get down low. That's the matchup.
Bland, maybe an extra shuffle step, but no call. As you called correctly.
Oh, One for the year, one for the millennium. Credit Leonard Hamilton. He recognizes that Kent will not play as aggressively with 4 fouls. Went right to Bland.
Greer crushed from behind by Hemsley. A lot of contact, and that hurts if you're Jeff Greer. His neck snapped a bit.
The difference is, Dave, Dante Jones would have exploded and leaned in. Watch Jeff Greer, the same quickness. Now he's going to fade back for the jump shot, and Hemsley has been used to tracking down Dante Jones, leaning to the basket. An obvious foul.
Third on Hemsley. And one more free throw upcoming now for Greer. Up to 15 points, 2 for 2 on that trip to the charity stripe. Under 6 minutes in the second half. Again, a 1-point game.
Well, don't look for Bland to spend a lot of time out here. Right to the box.
On Kent, and a blocking foul on Rashad Kent, and that'll do it for him. He is fouled out with 5:44 to go in the second half, and Salvi, with his 4 personals, hops right off the Rutgers bench. He'll be back in.
Mario Bland reminds me a lot of the old Boston College Eagle, Dante Abrams. Now, you look, Danny Abrams, rather, you take a look. He knows that Kent has to move his feet and defend him with 4 fouls. He just took it right to the baseline. If Kent did a good job and stopped him, he had the ability to pass it back out. Now Rashad's got to go back to the bench, and all the Monday quarterbacks will say, hey, why'd you put him in with 6.5 minutes? He didn't even play a full minute.
Mario Bland looking for point number 12. He's got it. Give him double figures this year now 17 times as Kent is done for the day.
Of course, not only did Bland know that he had 4 fouls and get to the blocks, but because he picked up the foul, you get that good foul shooter on the line again.
Canes lead by 1. Couple of free throws for Bland. Suffered a mild concussion in their game earlier this week against Pittsburgh, taking a charge. He looks certainly fit in this game today. Standing play down low, helping foul out Rashad Kent. We'll see what a factor that is down the stretch. Rear penetration, maybe an extra shuffle step, no call. Jones barely grazing the rim. Well short of a jump shot try.
Salmons did a great job boxing out the bigger Dabney and getting that rebound.
Salmons, Jones all over him. Now Jennings, this is his time to take over. Elton Tyler. Canes content to take their time a bit. Good feed, Hemsley down low for Salmons. Blocked from behind, Jones got a piece of it. Tyler, though, recovers the rebound. Shot clock down to 5 and counting. Hemsley long 3, can you believe it? Johnny Hemsley, a long-range triple.
The guy all afternoon's been coming off screens wide open and throwing up bricks, and he takes it from 26 feet with the shot clock winding down. That'll kill you if you're Kevin Gannon.
Expands the lead to 4 for the Canes. Enjoyed a 9-point cushion at one point here in the second half. A lot of contact as Jones went right to the basket.
Well, I tell you, the shot clock was winding down. A great job by Rutgers, the possession before. It had to bail him out. Hemsley at half court looks up. He sees 6 on the clock. You know what, Dave? Why not? I think I'll launch it. And, you know, it's one of those shots that Leonard's on the sideline saying, what are you thinking? Nice shot, big fella. You can see the thumbs up. Coach, I had it. Sit down,
all the
Coach.
way. Had it planned out from 25.
What took you so long getting me the basketball?
He's got 3 3-pointers, 17 points for the day. That's just a point under the season average. A big miss from Dante Jones. He'll have one more. Hurd is in. Salmons will take a seat for Leonard Hamilton's club.
You know, anytime you miss a foul shot, front rim, and back out, you're not putting enough arc on the ball. It's a flat ball. Dante, when he gets tired, does not lift his jump shot.
1 or 2 on that trip to the free throw line. Lead is 3 for the Canes. Hemsley, Bland, and Jennings have all been brilliant. Stretched on to the second half. Mario Bland. Dabney all over him. Thought about a quick backdoor feed at Jennings. Heard the freshman from Mississippi. Very patient Miami offense. Clock dwindling down to 10. Jennings will try baseline shot, rattles out. Land a hand on it, Tyler the putback. Another tip, Elton Tyler.
Kent on the bench, Dave. Miami just too big, too athletic up front, getting multiple options.
Kent is a spacey. We talked about that. 265-pound frame. And he likes to throw his weight around. This creates so much room, rebounding offensively and defensively. Now he's out. Greer also out of luck on a long three.
And he does not have to get the rebound. He just takes up so much room that Jones and Greer can get in and get the defensive rebound. But without him in there, you got to get back to fundamentals. You have to box out. Everyone does.
Now Hurd, Tyler, and Bland will try to take advantage. Rutgers really going ice cold. A stretch run. That's something Kevin Bannon talked about a lot yesterday. Our stretch runs have not been great. 3 minutes without a basket. Jennings, quick snap feed for Hemsley, missed it, but look at the offensive rebound. As did the ball touch the rim on that first shot is the question. Should have been reset. Then Burr believes so. We'll get it sorted out. Shot clock buzzer went off.
I'm not sure if it did hit the rim. It was a very hard shot. Great defense by Dante Jones coming off the screen again. If it hits the rim, it's an automatic shot clock reset. And the way Mario Bland picked up the rebound, it seemed obvious that it did.
52-47 lead with 2:53 to go. Offensive rebounding now is crucial for the Canes because Rashad Kent has fouled out. They're getting 2 and 3 shots at it. Elton Tyler first. Hurricanes in a bid for their 5th straight win in this Big East series, head-to-head with Rutgers on their way. A 5-point lead, 2:53 to go in the second half. Let's take a look at our best play of the game. Brought to you by Advanced Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
Dave, I don't think you're going to find this anywhere in the Miami scouting report on the offensive pages. But Hemsley, as we mentioned, recognizing the clock winding down. Why not? He has that range, obviously, as he showed you. Great shot by Johnny Hemsley.
In this game, he has tied and gone ahead of Jake Morton into second place all-time. Miami history in three-pointers. But that last one, the play of the game, certainly one he'll remember the most. The bomb three-pointer to convert for the Canes when they needed it most.
Now you can see the Miami team practices this scenario. They are good foul shooters because they can all handle the basketball, and all 5 of these guys are confident at the end of the game.
Jennings for Bland. Shot clock at 7. Tyler, right low block, strong move to the basket. He is fouled with 2:25 to go in the second half.
Well, you get tired chasing the perimeter guys, and Dabney just fell asleep on the baseline. Elton Tyler underneath the basket had a great opportunity to throw a double team as the shot clock was winding down. They let him out of that double team, and he ends up with the line.
Eugene Dabney about the only night on the floor not in foul trouble, just his first. Tyler will have another. Tops on the team in blocks. And number 1 amongst regulars in field goal percentage.
2 big missed free throws, only a 5-point game now, still 2 possessions.
Just after we talked about what a great team Miami is from the free throw line. Salvi outside the three-point arc. Heading down toward 2 minutes left in regulation. Because you got to make it happen quickly. Big possession here. Greer penetration. Good feed. Dabney will finish.
Great job. A lot of perimeter passing. Jeff Greer finally taking it off the bounce, and Dabney getting to the right spot and creating a passing lane for the easy layup.
And the fans take that as a cue to make some serious noise. First 2 of the game for Dabney. Couldn't have come at a better time for Rutgers.
Now you have to discipline yourself to not commit the silly foul. You're in this game, plenty of time left. Get a good stop and bring it down the other end.
Crucial stage here for the Knights. Jennings for Bland, little hot, little shot. Back iron not there. Dabney a hand on it. Salvi couldn't bring it down. Look at Hemsley, fires a 3. Should have waited. Didn't matter because Salmons plucks away another rebound.
Leonard Hamilton, I thought, was going to grab him from the sideline. You did not need that, Mr. Hemsley.
Really wanted to use that 35 a bit better, but it works out well in the end for them. As we head down toward a minute, I think Coach Hamilton wants to talk it over about ill-advised shots like that from Hemsley. So as they'll talk it over, a timeout with 1:04 to go. And the lead is 3, but they've got the ball. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Today's game Here from Rutgers, being brought to you by National Car Rental. What are you waiting for? Let's go. By Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people. By Volkswagen, on the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. And by Beck's, a beer apart. Knights armor trying to shine here in the second half. It may be difficult with Leonard Hamilton's bunch. Definitely the upper hand, thanks to great play on the offensive glass. Wow. Look at that number.
Oh, Leonard Hamilton loves that number. When Kevin sees that number, that's going to be a long practice.
Another whistle to stop play. We got down to a minute, and there are shot clock issues because we were at 20 on the shot clock for Miami on this possession coming off that timeout. Now, it had read 33 for a moment. Should be down to about 16. We'll get it sorted out.
Obviously, the time isn't important, but still a one-possession game, 52-49, regardless of what Miami does here, Dave. If you're the Knights, you don't want to come down and just burp up threes. You want to work it, bring it right to the basket, get a good high-percentage shot, because you can still come down. It's a 35-second clock, play the good D, and get set up to win this game.
Clock stops. The shot clock, that is, at 22. Now Jim Burr again trying to explain to each coach where it should be. That's right, 16 should be the number.
My partner on top of it.
Now we are set to go.
Now it's like the guys in the truck. No one is listening to you, Dave.
A minute left straight up. Everything sorted out. Kevin Bannon just inside the hash mark, rooting on his team. Huge sequence. They must have a stop. Bland with Dabney all over it. Shot clock at 5. High-low play for Tyler. Lost the handle. And the Knights come free with it.
Don't settle for the first shot. Good job by Kevin Bannon setting up a timeout. A lot of times the young kids will get used to seeing an open shot and fire it up. Set it around, get the high percentage shot, plenty of time left to go.
Leonard Hamilton talked to us yesterday, along with Kevin Bannon, about big games down the stretch. Leonard Hamilton said, look, we lost that Kentucky game. The Big East contest, no matter what, you're favored by 10, 20, expected to win because last year we went to the NCAAs, had a great season, got into the second round. I'll take a one-point win in this league any day because the great thing about the Big East Conference, the parity, you can lose, you can win, just about any team, any night.
Well, when it comes down to wins and losses, and on the win side, they don't ask how. They ask how many, especially at the end of February. Take a look at the reset. 2 timeouts left for Miami. Rutgers still remaining 1, and Miami will have to shoot the one-on-one if Rutgers chooses to foul, if they're able to convert on the offensive end.
Pivotal game for each team. Rutgers coming in with 12 wins, 4-4 in conference play. They were at 500 in the league a year ago.
Have to protect the basketball, be patient, and obviously look for Greer and Jones.
Miami 13 victories heading in. Each thinking NCAAs. Each thinking this win is crucial today. Near steal by Hemsley on the overplay. Greer for Jones. Shot clock at 15. They're setting up a 3. Billett fires out. Intercepted. Salmon's the great defensive player. Saw that pass coming, filled the lane, and picked it off.
Absolutely no respect for the interior men of Rutgers. The defense for Miami just played a 5-man out, Dave Ryan. Everyone jumping into the passing lane. Johnny Hemsley almost got picked. A little penetration, and then they went back out to dish it. Let's take a look. Double team there. A switch over. Everyone runs out. Hey, no one's in the paint. You're wide open. You only need a 2. You do not need a 3. And a good job by Salmons jumping in the passing lane.
77% free throw shooter. Nails the first.
And you know, folks, this is not easy. 19 seconds left to go. End of the game to calmly step up and hit nothing but cotton.
Leonard Hamilton loves Salmon's role. Comes in as utility man, does everything he's asked, and right there he was asked to nail 2 free throws and did it. Jones, Rutgers has got to score, and quick, Bill at 3. He's got it, and a timeout for the Knights. Lead is 2 with 12.8 left.
It's amazing how easy a three-point shot can become in transition. Credit Dante Jones. Made the penetration, and Billett got to the open spot on the team. Of course, Billett had to knock it down, but in transition, that 3 is a lot easier than when you're lined up 5-on-5.
At the line, as we talked about, very strong free throw shooting. Miami, the team, leads the Big East over 77%, but their starters are excellent. Tyler, I guess the weak link, and that's not bad at 71%.
Well, and that last foul was Rutgers' 9th foul, so now you're talking 2 shots, not a one-on-one. So you really don't have a choice to pick from that list. 2 to foul, you go for the quick steal, maybe a quick trap, because you do have almost 13 seconds left, but then lay the lumber. Don't let Miami move that ball via the pass.
Bland to inbound. Has Hemsley in the near corner. Dabney Billett all over him, and a foul called against Todd Billett with 10.3 left, so not much time evaporating.
Tough call. That was a good trap, Dave Ryan. I mean, Billett, unfortunately, only at 5'10", 5'11", allowed Hemsley at 6'4" to look over the trap, and he did have a couple of teammates open up court, but they did what they tried to. Kevin Bannon grabbing him, saying, "Why did you reach? You had a good trap."
83.3% this year's line coming in for Johnny Hemsley. There's at least one. Force a three-point shot on the other end. He's got that.
You know, the last guy down here at the other end of the court for Leonard Hamilton is Mario Bland. As the shot went up and was good, the senior raises his fist to the ceiling because this is the part of the game they take the most pride in.
So far, the upper hand will last. 2 huge free throws from Hemsley. Knocks down a pair, and the lead, crucial 2-possession game now at 4 points.
Bannon's going to put Brown in the game and get as many ball handlers on the court as possible. Probably shoot sitting down Dabney. Take the first good 3 that presents itself, and then crash the offense and rebounds. Don't throw it back out, Dave. Get your shot, get your bucket. Another quick foul and see if we can come back down again.
Miami coach Leonard Hamilton this year has been talking about how this season he hopes to be and could be later on, especially down the stretch, the Johnny Hemsley show. 2 huge free throws there and a team-high 19 points. That has been the case in this game today.
And this is the way the Hurricanes have won on this road stretch. They just stay in the game, they work, they grind, and then they win at the foul line at the end. It's great to leave a building and sneaking away with a victory.
Under 10 left, stolen away. Tyler made this trip. Hemsley will try to finish this game off, and he'll do it. Jennings a steal, last second shot, goes! And that will not count according to Jim Burr, so officially it will go as a 6-point win for Leonard Hamilton's team on the road. Such a good team away from Miami, showing us why. By 6, they take it. 14th victory of the year. We'll have more from Rutgers after this. 58-52. Leonard Hamilton and the Canes take the win. For the 9th time this year, Johnny Hemsley over 20 points. He scores 21 and a big win for the Canes. Today's game has been produced and distributed by ESPN Regional Television. Now for Mark Lansky and the entire crew from Rutgers, this is Dave Ryan saying so long. Miami takes it.